Should be 7 here.
All right. Happy New Year, everybody. Let's do the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, has everybody had a chance to review the minutes from December 1st and January 5th with the January 5th correction of the attendance is not on the top? He's gonna put that on there to make that correct for who was here. Any other thing? If not, I'll take a motion for the secretary to file them. Motion by Mark, second by Gary. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. Public comment. Brandon, come on up.
Thank you. It's easier for everyone on council that wants a copy.
Okay.
Happy New Year to all. Quick question is that, did you ever find out who the speaker was? Okay, I think I did.
Okay.
So moving forward, this is concerning the tenant registry that was, going to be slated. I think it's slated for tonight's talk. Here's what I found. The claim originally was the borough might be losing income from not knowing who is living in the rentals, mainly in regards to earned income tax credits. And I just said about the conversation I had with you. I found out who the speaker was, and here is his email in regards to this matter. Hello, Brandon. As we spoke on the phone today, in my opinion, municipalities are not losing a great deal of earned income tax credit from people who are renters in their communities. But as I explained to the York County Boroughs Association, the adoption of a landlord-tenant ordinance is a great help to locate transient people who should be filing and paying taxes. As I explained to you, if a person works for a PA employer, the employer is required to withhold the earned income tax and remit it to the collector for the county where the company is located. Then they will distribute the tax revenues to the municipality, school district where the taxpayer lives. He goes on to say the reason landlord-tenant ordinances are important is because people who are self-employed or work out of state may not have tax withheld by an employer. Those people are required by law to make a quarterly estimated payments in lieu of withholding. Many are not aware of this requirement. Because of our proximity to Maryland line, there is a sizable population who work in that state. Without the municipality providing new resident, particularly renter information, it could be quite some time before our office is aware that someone is living in the municipality and not filing or paying their taxes. We do our best to identify these people and ensure compliance with the tax law, but it can delay the municipality's collection of that revenue. K.C. McClearly, Executive Director of the York Adams Tax Bureau. Now, I did ask him, and he did confirm that there aren't any reports, articles, or documents to substantiate the claim. And I also had the Office of the State Representative Seth Grove look into the matter as well, and they reached out to specific state government committees in Harrisburg that would handle such issues as EIT or tax loss, and they too believe, as well as I do, that this isn't an issue either due to the fact that all residents are required to submit a state and local tax form. The addresses of such taxpayer are already on the forms. Which brings me to my next point. Mr. McCleary's argument about self-employed persons not supposedly paying local tax is obviously a fallacy, in my opinion, on his part. To start, there's a plethora of reciprocating laws on both Maryland and Pennsylvania side. Anyone hiring services would most certainly want to write off their expense. Secondly, as mentioned by the Harrisburg committees, all Pennsylvania citizens are required by law to submit a state and local tax forms. On said forms, it is required to put the address, and I did check, a P.O. box is not acceptable, and add the local and PSD code, which is known as the PA School District Code. This includes all self-employed persons, and I should know since I've been filing them Form SE since I was 16. Further reference, if anybody wants to read it, PA Phantom Law 1965 Act 511, Local Tax and Ambling Act. Therefore, the local laws also require all residents of York County, except for West Shore School District for some reason, and those who aren't permanently retired or disabled, everyone else must file annually an EIT return even if they have no earned income. Some further important items to maybe note about this. Though some of our neighboring boroughs have enacted tenant registries in the past few years, they have had nothing but trouble and grief for doing so. You may call their compliance officer for yourself and ask them. There are apparently lawsuits already in the PA Supreme Court concerning tenant registries, and it's a real and complete mess up there right now from what I'm being told. To address a comment during last year's town meeting about this type of registry being also important for police and crime purposes, be it known that while a borough may conduct a census of its populace, by federal law it can only be used for budgetary and planning commission purposes and the like. Any use by police for supposed public safety is strictly unlawful. Pretty much to sum up my findings, in my opinion, there has been absolutely no evidence for such a registry found, reported, or documented. The whole idea concerning tax laws was an unsubstantiated opinion of one person. Registries of the like are causing undue costs and time in other municipalities. And most important reason not to consider ever such a registry. It's unconstitutional under U.S. Constitution Amendment 4 and PA Constitution Article 1, Section 8, which I did point out last year at the Ordinance Committee. I did attach, a copy of the PA form just to show that, yeah, the addresses and the local code has to be required by those people. And I have filled out self-employment forms for many years, so I agree with the committees in Harrisburg. Yeah, it's pretty hard to hide from it unless someone's not paying their taxes at all. So anyway, thank you for your time, and I just want to share that with the borough.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other public comment? Okay, we'll move into the meeting for the engineer's report.
No report.
Okay, solicitor's report.
Nothing to report, no updates for the state police yet.
Okay, anything for the solicitor while we're there? Thank you. Zoning code enforcement report.
Everyone has a copy. It's the off-season where things are kind of quiet. I did email all of council just to make you aware, and I also put it on the Facebook page, that a resident in Springfield Township received a cease and desist order asking the property owner that was having some construction work done to stop work, and that they owed a fine of $7,531. And it says that it's from Seven Valleys Borough. Where the property is located, we're not even, that property owner has a Seven Valleys mailing address. But of course, Seven Valleys Borough has no authority in Springfield Township. And when you look at it and you read through it, it's clearly bogus. The only thing that close to us is they used our logo off the website. So if you hear of anybody else that's having that issue, let us know. This individual is working with his attorney and the state police.
I was curious, did they ask how to pay the fine? Was it a call number?
Nope, that's the thing. They wanted it that day.
Oh.
There's no phone number, there's no name, there's nothing. So,
Okay.
of course, the guy was smart enough to know it was not legitimate. So that's all I have.
Anything else for zoning codes? Questions? Albert?
This come last year, we had 212 calls. 17 calls was in the borough. I did give Todd a copy of everything broke down and everything. He's gonna scan it in and give everybody copies on council. If you wanna look at it and see. That's all I have.
All right, thank you. Scott, anything while we're there?
Yeah, they're, been getting some fair amount of emails, but after the, from Mike Melbourne, the trainings are coming in. There is a training, set up for new EMCs, on the 21st, I believe. It's a Saturday of February. So, if things work out, I think I might just pop in to, get some refresh on some things. So, but as right now, the trainings are starting to come in classes, and of course, there's very, very minimal on weekends. The majority of them are all through the week, and, of course, work hours.
Is there a fee for that training that you're speaking of?
No, I don't think so. I think
Okay.
it's free training. It's out at the 911 center.
Okay.
Other than that, was in conversation with Todd, you know, in the past about seeing about getting a new upgrade to the portable radio that EMCs have. They're just old and they're not, you know, getting out in the areas down here, especially when, you know, the leaves and everything are on the trees. Very, very light.
Do you know anything about
Radio
radios?
communication.
There's like something that he
So,
can't.
Talked about it.
Thinking, you know, looking at, you know, about seeing about getting a new portable upgrade for the EMC.
Yeah, when you get a chance, don't forget to see if I get that old one so I can,
I have it out.
okay. Yeah.
So,
That way I had the information
There's
off of
very,
it, so.
using it, a lot of dead spots won't project out, and I'm only be able to transmit out on one frequency. So, like I said, when the leaves are on the trees, you know, coming through the bottom here, there's no service that goes into the scan. So, and the radios are, that radio I know is probably at least 20, almost 20 years old.
Yep, get some information on that and look into that. Good.
So,
Bring it full council.
and I want to apologize for not being at a lot of the meetings. Precedents of working on the house, you know, recalking logs and sanding logs and finding rotten logs. So my time was committed on my house. So apologize again for not being here.
All right, thank you both. Recreation Committee,
The Regional Parks Recreation Commission for the YMCA Roses of Spring Grove has not met since November 11th. So there's no business to report from that. The YMCA project is continuing to move well. The flooring's being worked on as scheduled to be completed in 2 weeks. Cleaning services are on site. Punch lists are being worked on. The project remains on schedule for substantial completion by the middle of January. However, its occupancy is not going to be granted until the site work's done. And there was a site work pre-con meeting held yesterday. And the Y is looking at opening for occupancy on May 1st. The date of the egg hunts on the 21st of March, and the hunt at Seven Valleys is scheduled for noon. The Playground Committee met yesterday with Kate. Committee selected a vendor. It's Copan was chosen. Kate would be meeting with Teddy Fisher from the York County Parks to obtain his approval. Ted is also working with his legal team on the maintenance agreement. We're hopeful that both of those agreement and proposal can be presented to council next month for approval, allowing us to move forward with Copan's proposal so Kate can begin grant application process. The next board meeting with the Y is next week, the 13th at 5:30.
thank you.
Sorry, did you say March 30th is the egg hunt?
21st.
Oh, 21st, I'm sorry.
Yep, 21st, and that'll be at the Heritage Trails parking area.
All right. Public Creek access and old business?
Yeah, just bring you up to date here quickly. The York County Economic Development Alliance, they actually have a $20,000 grant that they received for the next phase of the Cadorce Creek access, where they're looking into easements and so forth. So we'll be actually receiving and holding that grant money, so you'll see that appear here at some point in time. I don't know what their schedule is, but they plan on moving forward this year in '26, so I learn more about that. So we'll be seeing more on that.
Where is the access going to be?
There's two locations I know they were looking at, if I remember. One was over here by the ball field area, and then one was up out Maple Street.
towards the White Bridge
Yeah.
there.
Crosswalks?
Again, that's still Trail Town, I guess is looking at that.
That, yeah, most likely it's gonna go through maybe some PennDOT, hopefully looking at some PennDOT grants, perhaps do that. We would mention that we would probably have some better luck through them.
Fiber line, anything new from them?
No, I sent out emails and I'm not getting any response from David Gonzalez. So I'm going to keep it on there as a reminder. I'll keep bugging him.
When that fiber line is completed, will that be better for access for Seven Valleys for like this guy with his radio? It doesn't have anything to do with it.
No.
Well, I was hoping,
Yeah.
thank you.
The streetlight?
It's still with engineering. I'm trying to get a hold of engineering with Med Ed.
Med Ed's engineering.
Yeah, to find out what the status is, and I don't get any return calls from them either, so, guess everyone's still on Christmas and New Year break. And then the Borough Facebook page, again, I put that on just as a reminder more for Doug and I. I know we have two different pages, and I need to get with Doug to determine which one we want to keep. Yeah, so we'll have that taken care of by next month.
And the vacancies on the.
Yeah, it hasn't changed since Monday night. Now, there is one individual that I spoke to again that reached out, talked to me again today. And that person will give us an answer by next month whether or not,
For zoning or planning?
well, they want to learn a little more about both
Okay.
before they decide. Yeah, so.
All right. Any other old business? All right, new business.
This is a mandatory contract number 1 for the Community Development Block Grant contract for the Church Street curb and sidewalk. And it's actually a decrease in funding simply because the bids came in less than what the grant amounts were. So they're asking us to approve that. A decrease in funds of $65,000 to a total grant amount of $130,000. But again, everything's paid, so it's just a matter of paperwork for them to make those funds available to other projects.
Need a motion on that?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, take a motion to accept the decrease to basically turn the money back over
Yeah.
instead of spending it on our project. So our project's
Yeah, I'll
already
make
made.
it.
Motion by Greg, second by Deb. Questions? All in favor? Opposed? Okay. All right, it's tenant registration ordinance.
Yeah, I guess that was back in
Yeah,
October
we wanted to
or
push it to
November.
The full council,
Yeah.
new council, we
Yeah.
decided everything. Is there any thoughts on any of this from council? My first personal opinion is that we get the information that we have on it, our draft, and we get the paperwork that Brandon gave us tonight, and we get that to Andrew, and everybody looks into this, and we talk about this next month with thoughts and ideas on the terming and the wording. And everybody comes back with thoughts. If anybody else has any different ideas, please speak.
Yeah, it's out there, we're gonna kind of rethink this here, or look at everything we have in
Look
front
at
of us now.
everything, and everybody
And,
read over it.
People can hear about it in the community too, and maybe, we'll all hear something in another month.
Go to that.
Yeah. I'll put that back on for next month.
Yep. Thank you. I want to skip anything. That went for the B.
Treasurer's report.
Okay, D. I was looking for a C back there. Treasurer's report, yeah. I didn't want to skip anything. I'm good at that. All right, everybody had a chance to look over the treasurer's report. Any questions, any comments from treasurer or anything? If not, I will take a motion for the treasurer to approve, accept, and file statement for audit and pay any regular bills until next month.
So moved.
Motion by Bill, second by Deb, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, COVID-19.
Yeah, I just want to let everyone know that now that the project's completed, the portion of the curb and sidewalk project that was related to stormwater totaled $40,177. We were entitled to, for grant funding, up to 85% of that. So I started the reimbursement request process, and we should be getting back $35,150.45. So just want to let you know that we started that process.
Okay. Anything else for the treasurer? All right, secretary's report.
Just real quick here, Seven Valleys, this is a thank you note. Seven Valleys Borough Council. As in past years, we used the partnership check for Trick or Treat to buy toys for our toy drive. We appreciate our partnership with council. Thank you and Merry Christmas, Terry and Meg. And that's all I have.
Anything for the secretary? Doug?
I don't have anything.
Anything for the mayor? Liens are still 3, that hasn't changed. Anything on the monthly report for sewer?
Just a couple notes. First of all, if you take a look at the expenses and all the numbers, this was current as of the 17th of December, so this is pretty much the end of their year. On the page, I can't tell which page, the expense report, Fund 07, you look at the collection system, and for Seven Valleys, for our collection system, we're way under budget. But obviously, the Valley Road Pump Station and the Seven Valleys Pump Station are very over budget. Doesn't work out. And then the only other thing that I saw in it is in their minutes on page 2. They're saying that once again, they're over on their nitrogen and phosphorus. They had to buy credits from New Oxford and Lackawanna. And then on page 3, they talked about the problem, and they're re-rating the pump, but they're going to try to get records from York Water Company. The only thing I can think that they're going to do for that is if they see how much water is coming in versus how much water is going out, that gives them a general idea of the volume of the infiltration and inflow, and then they might be able to give them a general idea whether it's coming from residences, whether we get some creeks and springs going into it, or what. So that could help them. And then the last thing was on page 5, where it did talk about contacting the borough for going in together, maybe for an LSA grant.
Okay.
The number, like I said, the numbers are the ones to keep in mind, because I don't know whether what they've done is, and again, these are the minutes from November. There's nothing in here about any rate increases for customers. You know, we haven't had any mediation meeting for a long time, so that's just something for you guys to keep an eye on.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
and there, it says 6 EDUs.
it's only
I
2.
believe it's 2.
Yes.
And what I found stunning was the amount of dollars that was past due from residents of Seven Valleys. It was over 10,500 past due dollars.
Look at the book 3 where it talks about the delinquents.
Page 5, it's more towards
It's
the
in,
end.
it's in the back, because sometimes when that prints out, Bill, it's people that are like on your current quarter, depending on their billing cycle. The important thing's to look at the ones where it talks about at the very end near the back. It gives you the list of the delinquents.
Yeah.
You're not that bad. I mean, you know, it's.
Overall, but there's like 6 frequent flyers.
Yeah,
there.
and that's what you always have. You always have a few. I have the same situation in Glen Rock. You've always got the usuals that are that way, so. And as indicated on there, they've become more aggressive in filing liens and moving forward. Before, they didn't do a whole lot, but now they've been liening properties, and you know, what really does work is turn the water off. Talk to York Water Company and turn the water off. Sewer bills tend to get paid when you turn the water off when somebody's in the shower.
Anything else on sewer? Todd, do you have anything?
No.
Mike?
No.
Sam?
Nope.
Okay. Cheryl? Doug? Gary?
Street lights. Was this one repaired? The street light was out here at the old ambulance house, and now maybe it was just wasn't, I don't know what happened.
One out here wasn't working Monday.
Okay, it's not working now?
I don't know, I mean,
And 135.
135.
Yeah. Is there a band on those poles? Is that where you get the number off of?
Mm-hmm.
You want me to text you that?
If you don't mind, yeah, it should be 10 digits.
Should be right inside my mailbox.
Okay.
Didn't look at it for
And
the
I'll
only
look-
other thing, I don't know how, I forgot to pick it up. Did anybody else get a WellSpan membership?
Yes.
Okay, you got them. All right. So they're getting, all right. All right.
Okay, thank you. Mark? Greg? Deb?
Yeah, I have a question. I think Todd is doing a fabulous job as secretary. And correct me if I'm wrong, when we picked him as zoning ordinance officer, wasn't that supposed to be temporary? I'm just asking. Was that, now, I remembered.
Until this past Monday.
Pardon?
Until this past Monday.
Okay, that's the reason I asked.
When we were down here
is I remember-
Monday for our meeting.
Okay, because the reason I ask is, I remember Doug saying something about constituents, said something to him, and I'm just curious to know, so he's going to be our permanent zoning officer?
That's what we voted on Monday.
Okay, that's all I needed to know.
Yep.
Thank you.
Bill?
No, nothing.
All right. Open back up to public comment. Come on up, sir. Just need your name and address, that's all.
My name is John Struble on 50 Maple Street. I don't know if this is a question for you guys or not, but I've noticed, obviously not in the winter because everything's dead, going down Maple Street to the bridges that go into North Cadorus. The property, I don't know if it's public property, private property, on the right side before you get to the bridges, always overgrows. It grows over speed limit signs, other signs. Last year it got so bad it was growing over all the signs on the first bridge.
So I know the crew started today. They did not get done.
That's what actually reminded me of it,
But
because
the
there was
crew,
a lot of debris on
they're
the
not
road
done.
today.
They just did, they did what they
that-
could
It
today.
reminded me because I figured
Yep, but
you
they're,
better bring it up before spring hits.
yep, they're working on that
Okay.
directly.
So it'll be better this year, hopefully.
It's gonna be better hopefully this time next week, hopefully it's gonna be better. Weather pending, weather pending, because
Yeah,
those are the
right now
same,
it's not too bad because everything's dead.
those
but
same guys plow
it grows up
roads,
a
so yeah,
lot.
so depending on weather, hopefully within the next 2 weeks, I would say it should be better.
Okay.
They trim a lot of road shoulders, so they're pretty good at
Yeah.
trimming back and up,
Right.
so.
Okay,
yeah,
thank you.
so, yep,
Thank
sure.
you. Any other public comment? Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everybody, and Happy New Year once again.